welcome to another Stash Bash Saturday. I have 3 photos of my son pouting in the car. I have a gessoed background. I have these giant paper clips. They actually were from a Dear Lizzie collection and they had wood veneer things on them. I ripped those off. I've kind of used all of those, but I decided I wanted to use the paper clips, and since it is part of my 7 items that Becky gave me for challenging me this month, I figured I would use them. I've got those. I'm going to grab some twine, and I'm going to play with what I have left of Color Me Happy from Pretty Little Studio. I love this collection, but I have just like all like ephemera and stickers and pocket cards and that kind of thing. So I'm going to create a fun like hanging layout, I think, was my thought with the paper clips and the photos, etc. So we'll see how that turns out, but that's where I want to try and get going. So let's get started.
So in this case, I'm going to try and figure out how I want to arrange the whole thing, because I'm also trying, because I don't really know where I want to do mixed media. I know I want to do it. I have this gessoed paper, but I don't know exactly where or what yet. So I'm like, maybe the collection will help me figure that out. So I'm loving so far. I pulled out this black and white twine and I'm trimming down my photos to pretty small just to focus on my son pouting in the back seat. Basically, he was pouting because we left a water park. We were having so much fun. I don't know if I already said this. We were having so much fun and he was just mad that we had to leave. And it was one of those moments. I didn't get any photos at the water park. We did get a really good video of him going down a water slide for the first time. So I'm tempted because I've seen Janet Fritz from Galaxy Girl Creations. She has a great video on how to create your own QR codes to put on your scrapbook pages. So I might add that QR code to this eventually, because then we can scan it and then you can see the video of him going down the water slide. Because that is the only video or photos or anything I have of us at the water park. So I went ahead and grabbed, so I'm trying to use up as much of this collection as I can because I have so much left of it, but it's all these little bits. It's bits and pieces. Now, according to Becky and my criteria, technically this collection is killed because there's no 12 by 12s left. It's all embellishments, all pocket cards and things. But because it's so voluminous in its pocket cards and things, I wanted to use a bunch of it. And I might even use it again and again. I might use it for the next 3. I haven't decided for sure. But I know I want to use it again because now I have another idea with some of the things I had left over. And a wonderful sketch from Paper Issues that they have going on this month. So, okay. So I'm getting this figured out. So I backed all my photos on some pocket cards, trimmed them down. So there's one of my items, is pocket cards for, Becky. Sorry, I'm going to call her Rebecca, Becky, Becca. I'm going to call her all the things apparently. And I've got my paper clips and they're giant. I've got my twine. So I've got 3 of the 7 things already. I'm going to use my mists. I do end up doing that. So that's going to be 4 of the 7 items. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. And I picked out those pocket cards and I decided that this happy, happy, happy card was going to be perfect because it's the exact opposite. And then I can add the words not so or not very, or I can add something to make that part of my title. So I chose the photo where he's not looking at all to be on the very, very far right, and the ones where he's looking off to the right a little bit more to go over to the left a little. And I started just putting the paper clips on and arranging them how I wanted, and then got all the foam on, and I just want to make sure they all fit on the page. And I kind of want a little bit of a dynamic. So after I kind of arranged them, I kind of scooched them a little bit and they kind of made this angle. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this angle. And now looking at that, I have that rainbow on the left-hand side and the happy, happy, happy is all in rainbow colors. Why don't I just spray a rainbow? So I'm going to get my shimmers, and this is the rainbow order that I end up doing. So it's not to me, it's not the same as like a real rainbow order, but I'm going to go in the rainbow order that like is on that rainbow card because then it matches. So I'm going to use Colorings Will Blue Me Darn. And I have a big bottle. I don't remember. Does she sell big bottles anymore? I haven't ordered. It's a 2-ounce bottle versus the, was it 1 ounce? It's like double the size. But anyway, I have Will Blue Me Darn is first. One of my new favorites, Velveteen Green. And Forget Me Not, along with No Yoking. So Will Me Darn is so what I just did there is I decided that the paper clips, even though I have them like washi taped on the back and they're kind of sandwiched between Fun Foam and stuff, like they're squished between, there's still some of them were a little loose. So I was taking glue dots and kind of rolling them up into skinny strips and then tucking them underneath my paper clips so that they can glue to the front as well. And that works out really well because then they're hidden for the most part. You can barely see them, but when you're looking at the page, you're not looking at them. So it's not like you notice them at all. Sorry, it's really dry in our house. So my throat is getting really dry. It's cold here. It was like negative 30 for the high today. It was cold outside. And then it got even colder at night. And now it's going to only be in the single digits for a few days, I think. So it's cold. And our house is very dry. It's very old. It's very cold, dry. We have a humidifier, but it doesn't work very well. Anywho. So yes, rainbow color order that I did. And then I'm black splattering with just some acrylic paint. So I'll go back to that. Colorings Will Blue Me Darn. Vibes Velveteen Green, which is a new one. Vibes Forget Me Not. Colorings No Yoking. Spritz Practice What You Peach, because I really love that one. Spritz, and then it goes purple. So then I did Colorings Puckered Up Purple. No, Punked Up Purple, not Puckered Up, because that's Puckered Up Pink, I think. And then I did Caribbean Sunset, which is a spritz, and Cotton Candy, which is a spritz. Also ones I love. All right. Then I splattered, with some black acrylic paint that was just watered down. Love that. And I love the way it turned out. So I just trimmed off wherever the paint was. It's not even. So my black outline that I'm adding, this is not even at all. But I don't want to mat it until I get this twine down, because I want to tuck the twine only behind the white part. So I'm going to go through, I cut it long enough to go through everything, to go across the page 3 times. And so I'm going to go through the paper clips one way by going like under the left side, over the right side of the paper clip. And then when I come back, I'm going to do the opposite, go under the right side, over the left side. And then when I come back across, I'm going to wrap around it to kind of keep it more together. And that way it just thickens it up, but you can still see there's multiple strands, and it was just fun. And I don't need to do anything like gluing that down or anything, because everything else is glued down, and because I wrapped it, they kind of stay in place. It was almost like tying it to itself. So that's what I'm doing now, is doing that. And so then I'm going to tuck those ends behind that white, and then I will glue the entire thing with the strings tucked and everything down onto the black cardstock, which I need to make sure this stays. It should. I mean, and yeah, it turned out so good. And then I feel like I ruined it, but you guys are probably like, no, you didn't. I just made a dummy mistake at the end where so I do end up using sequins, but I use silver instead of gold. My paper clips are gold. Why didn't I grab gold? That was so silly. Anywho, Becky said it looked fine because she's like, I like mixing metals. I'm like, I know, but I was like, ooh, silver would be good. And then I was like, oh, I have gold sequins. Or gold paper clips. What was I thinking? I should use gold. Anyway, it still turns out really cute. I love it. So then I decide that I'm going through whatever little bits of ephemera I have left, because I know I have like a lot of hearts that I fussy cut out. I have a lot of shapes like hexagons, and there's like little squares. Not a lot of ephemera, but then there's all these little circles. I'm going to use all the circles up. Why not? I have a lot of them, but just enough that I can kind of sprinkle them around in the background, and they all match kind of the rainbow colors that I made. I'm not worried about them. I don't really care if they're color on color, tone on tone type, like color matching. I just sprinkled them and I really like that. And then I'll sprinkle the sequins in amongst them also. But then I will grab a label and stick it on the far left card and just kind of document why he's pouting. And then I think if I do the QR code, I'm going to print it and I'll put it like right up top. It would be really cool if I could print it on a clear sticker. Does any of my friends who have a printer want to do that for me? Anyone? Anywho, a clear sticker would be cool. And then I could stick the QR code up there right above the label on that left-hand card on the rainbow. And that's where the QR code could be. That is a goal. Okay, I got to write that down. I got to write that down. I need to do that. Let's see. Writing it down right now because if I don't while I'm talking about it, I won't do it. Okay. Sprinkle. So yeah. And then I grab these thickers there. I believe they're Vicky Bouton thickers and I do the not so and pop those up on foam since they're going over the twine. So yeah, I end up using, and tissue paper. So I mounted all the pictures on tissue paper. Did I use 6 of the 7? I did. Good job, Jackie. Pat on the back. But yeah, that is what I have for you guys. So, you're probably going to get another layout. Oh yeah, my light started dying, so you don't see me put the sequins on, but I did put some silver sequins on. Here's close-ups. I'll stop rambling. We'll see you next week. Bye. Check out Becky.